Good morning, good morning. Here we are in the wonderful Snowdonia National Park, or Eryri as it is locally, and we're about to go up Wyddfa or Snowdon, which is somewhere behind that. So conditions are looking a little grim. Got rain, we're going to have winds, the temperature can drop by as much as 10 degrees when you get to the top, but it's basically a warm day. So let me put up the map and then you can see the route that we're taking. We're starting just outside the village of Rhyd-ddu, and we're going to run up towards Llanberis and then take the Llanberis path to the top of Wyddfa. Then we're going to come down on the Cambrian Way back to Rhyd-ddu and then run back here. I'm expecting it to take 4.5 to 5 hours. I've got a tracker on for the first time ever. I'm really excited, and so come with me and let's find out some interesting stuff. Isn't that fantastic? That was evil. Got all tingly. Where's this? Can I finish? More bog. You find out what you're made of. Frying bacon.
Will be arrows like this for you to follow. They'll either be this size.
So here we are. This is it. Thank you. Thank you. One of the attractions of Snowdon is of course the views from the top, but I don't think we're going to get many of those today. So the first couple of miles we've got 1,000 feet of ascent in 2 miles, and I'm going to jog a bit to warm up, and then I'm going to walk if I need to, which I will. Slate production or slate mining is massive for this part of the world. They say that North Wales roofed the world because the slates from here went on to put roofs on houses all over the world. Down there is where we started from. And we're not even a mile in yet. We're heading up. So the path is very much a stream right now. Only 13 miles to go. So nice little bit of downhill on some quite firm track. And here's the views. I better not mention the S word, but he does seem to be poking through the clouds. Let's look at the mist rolling in here. Down to Llanberis, and that's where we begin Snowdon, so let's take this nice and steady, catch up some time. Very ironically, the name of Snowdon in Welsh is Wyddfa, which means the visible place, because you could see it from everywhere around. Well, you can't today. It's always nice when the locals come out to cheer you on. Right, boys and girls. How are you? You all right, missus? Hello, hello. You all right? And you're looking magnificent today. See you later. These old houses would probably have been for people working in the slate industry or mining industry, and when those industries dried up, either were no longer required or they couldn't find enough material economically, they were just people moved away and they were just left to decay. BU residents, good views, development opportunity, some potential. So we're just crossing the Snowdon Railway. So you see the rack and pinion up the middle, which there's a cog on the train itself. Thank you. Cog on the train itself that works on that and pushes the train up the hill, because of course steep wet rails have no grip at all. So the town of Llanberis is behind me. We're not going down into it. We're heading up on the Llanberis path now, up Snowdon. This is where it starts for us. So what are we now? 5.5 miles, hour and a quarter. So just getting to the first checkpoint. So even though they describe this as the quotes easiest path, the National Parks Authority still describe it as hard or strenuous and only to be undertaken by experienced walkers with a good level of fitness. One other thing to consider when doing this kind of trip is the wind chill. Whilst the temperature's 13 down here, with this rain and the wind speeds, you can expect the temperature to drop by about 10 degrees at the top. So we could be down hovering around freezing equivalent when we get to the top. Nearly 7 miles, about 2.5 miles to go, another 4 kilometres. I think that's halfway out. Over halfway up Snowdon and over halfway on the run. And we're just pipped 2 hours. So I've given in to myself and I'm just having a sit down. So we're just over 8 miles. We've been pretty much 3 miles going up this path and I've been pushing on. I set myself the challenge really of going faster than the leisure walkers. Quads are really tired. So I think just give myself a minute, let the quads come back. Because not to forget that when we get to the summit, we've got another 5 miles to go after that. Under the railway again. You can't see it, but over here on the left, this valley is known as the Valley of the Hats. And the reason it's called the Valley of the Hats is when the Victorian ladies and gents used to come across here on the open-topped steam trains, the wind would blow their hats off down into the valley. And then the local kids would collect those hats and take them down to Llanberis and sell them to tourists. So that's the Valley of the Hats if we could but see it. So I was really starting to struggle then. My hands are getting really cold. I couldn't reach my gloves or my pack. And I didn't want to take my pack off to find the gloves, because then I knew that the wind chill would make my back cold. And I decided that was foolish, so I stopped. I've put gloves on, I've put more headgear on and taken 5 minutes rest. And now I'm in a better place. This is going to be chilly at the top for sure. About 1 kilometre to go apparently. My hands are still freezing. Well, my head's warm, my body's okay. My legs have come back to me a bit, just to put in perspective what's going on. That last mile was 46 minutes. idea if you'll hear this, but this feels like a bloody hailstorm. It's really stinging your legs. It's really quite unpleasant. My hands are pretty much completely numb now. I find it really hard to turn the camera on and off. Then I think that's because I get Raynaud's, my fingers go white, and I think they've done that. But yeah, and the final ascent now, the final bit up to the cairn, I hope. 9.5 miles, so that should be about right. And no idea if you're getting any of this. So that's the cairn up there, if you can see it. I'm not hanging around. So I'm carrying on. 3 hours 16. My feet are very soggy. Just want to get out of that wind and let the circulation come back into my hands. Can't be down there, surely. So this first bit of the descent is the Rhyd-ddu path, which, as you can see, is a little bit more savage than the other. But we're not going to go all the way back on the Rhyd-ddu path. We're going to take the Cambrian way along a ridge, which should be great fun, and I just hope we get some views. And don't tell anybody, but I actually ran a few paces just then. But if you're scared of heights, don't look down. And that is just amazing, the difference. It feels 5 degrees warmer, it's sunny, it's beautiful. It's still not warm, but you look at this, that cauldron of steam coming up there. And in so many ways it makes it better, because we've just been through that really quite difficult time. It really was a grit your teeth time, but now look at the dappled sun on the valley. But just look at that. We've come off the Rhyd-ddu path and we're on the Cambrian Way, which is a huge, great, long distance trek that goes all the way from Cardiff to Conwy. And then we're gonna go over that way and then head back, and I think that lake's where we started, and that's the finish in about 4.5 miles time. Let's do it. So I've just dropped the camera because I've still got no feeling in my fingers, and it snapped my selfie stick and it's wonked the lens, and I can't fix the lens because my fingers can't feel it. There's been a lot of scrambling on this section. Using your hands and sliding on your bum. 3.5 miles to go. But I realised I hadn't eaten anything for ages. We're over 4 hours now and I hadn't eaten anything since going up Snowdon. So I've just quickly chucked in a Snickers and got myself a bag of jelly babies, which will make me feel great. I've also taken my gloves off because they'd got wet and I thought that they were making it worse. It must have taken me 5 minutes to get the jelly babies out of my pack because my finger circulation was still not back, and I thought we'll take the wet gloves off and then see how that goes. So look at all that slate. It's not easy to run on though. Just coming up to 13 miles, and I think we now go down this path along where you can see that guy, down into the town, and then up through the woods before going back down to the campsite, which is just by the lake. So it may only be 2 miles, but there'll be a challenge in there. So we're crossing the Welsh Highland Railway down to checkpoint number 2 with about 1.5 miles to go. I know I should run this, but my legs really are shot. We are 4 hours 57 for 14 miles. Last bit on the road, and then so irony of ironies, having done all the right route so far, we just missed a little gate back there, and we've just done probably about another 1/3 of a mile, 1/2 kilometre, because this didn't look like a path. Inside 5.5 hours, that'll do for me. So there we are, all done. I'm safely now back home in sunny Hertfordshire, and yeah, just about to finish editing that video. Thank you so much for coming along with me. It's been great. Thank you so much to the Trail Events Company for organising it. Great organisation, and oh my goodness, how much work is there putting out all those flags, keeping us safe, and then bringing them all back in again. Amazing job. Did I enjoy it? Yes, I did. Would I do it again? Yes, I would. Did I enjoy all of it? No, I didn't. There were certainly some bits really difficult, made me question several of my life choices. If you'd like me to do a video, a bit of a breakdown, a post-mortem, lessons learnt, that kind of thing, do let me know. I will happily share that with you, but I've probably talked enough on this one now. I've got lots of interesting runs coming up in the future, so do subscribe, then you won't miss a thing, and we can find out more interesting stuff while trail running together. So I look forward to seeing you soon. Ta-da!